Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a little follow-up of my Texas flood video, which was the last video I posted. Simply because it needs a little explaining, I think, and also because I just want to say thank you. My channel is pretty new. I just started it in January, and I started this channel as a chronic pain and living with chronic pain, basically, and the key word there is living. And I took the opportunity to shoot video the day after those floodwaters came through. Now, I have had overwhelming views of that video, and I will link that video down in the description box as well as in one of the corners here. I'm not sure if I already said that or not. Anyway, when I shot that video, I really wanted to show more than just what I was able to get. But there were so many road closures due to damage that I wasn't able to get out and do a whole lot, first of all. So I did what I could, which was just the road damage and just what I was able to get. I wanted to really show across the highway where the road damage was that washed out part of the bridge. Some of that neighborhood over there. I wanted to video some of the yards that were underwater, and how close that flood water had come up to the houses. But I was asked not to, due to privacy. That area, those neighbors really respect their privacy, and I respect them for that. So I just kept it to the damage on the road, as there was really no damage to their homes that was visible from the outside, just 2 yards. So I wish I could have gotten out to where the damage to the homes was, but unfortunately I was not able to. I have friends who lost their homes yet again to floodwaters. I have friends whose businesses were heavily damaged to floodwaters, and I wasn't able to get to them due to other circumstances. So it's been kind of odd, and we're still getting hammered off and on with storms in the area, so they're not really able to fix the roads the way that they need to, or as fast as they can. And as the waters recede and the sun comes up and things start drying out, roads are starting to collapse where they didn't think that there was road damage. So it's been kind of hazardous out there on some of the back roads and other areas. But a lot of friends of mine that live in Travis County, which is the county just to the west of where I live, they live really close to the F1 racetrack, which is the Dakota racetrack. that was recently built, and it's very close to the new toll roads that were also recently built. They've lost their homes yet again to this recent flood. This is the second time in a year. Now, why is it that this is happening? Well, honestly, I believe there's two reasons to this. One, first reason, climate change. Climate change. We all know it's happening, right? So that's one main reason why our weather is so crazy and all over the place. You know, everybody's like, well, Mother Nature's PMSing again, right? There's so much crap going on just all over the world, wacky weather, weird, just natural disasters. We've got forest fires happening all over in areas that have never had forest fires. We've got that massive, devastating fire that just happened in Canada just last month. And let's face it, Texas has seen our fair share of horrible natural disasters in the past couple of years, from this devastating wildfire just in my county alone in 2011 that took out over 1,200 homes, and then followed that up with a flood. And then tornadoes and hurricanes and tsunamis and earthquakes, and the list goes on. And then before hurricane season even starts, we get our first tropical storm. Dolly slams into the East Coast over the weekend. So we have all of this big climate change happening. Number two, environmental change. Environmental change. It's huge, too. This is where we can blame so many big corporations and big companies and big oil, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and nobody's going to want to take the blame for it. We have fracking. We have big oil that is drilling for oil, and then they pump the wastewater back down deep into the ground, which is causing massive, widespread earthquakes. Google it, you'll find it. That's what's causing all of these earthquakes. That I saw on the nightly news once. That can be found on the intranet. And there's just so many things. We have big companies coming in and buying up large amounts of land and building large racetracks, like our F-150 track in the big ATX, Austin, Texas. And they didn't think about what that impact would have on the surrounding land and the environment. I don't know if they hired environmentalists and geographers and all of this other stuff that they should have or whatever to see what the impact would have when they bulldozed all of the dry creeks and everything and changed the flow of the land and the natural flow of where the water would usually go, and now it's flooding all of these homes that have not flooded in well over 1,000 years, which are no longer considered not in a flood zone. These people, they didn't have flood insurance because they weren't at risk for being flooded. they couldn't get flood insurance because they weren't at risk. They had nothing. And so before you pass judgment on why they didn't have, why didn't they have flood insurance? They couldn't get it. See, there's this little clause when you get insurance that if you're not in a flood zone, your insurance company usually won't sell you flood insurance. And it's kind of like that little clause in your auto insurance that unless you pay for that towing and pay for that rental car, you ain't got it. Yeah. It's kind of similar to that, but different, you know, because you can still get that on your auto insurance, but you can't get flood insurance if you don't live in a floodplain. And so it's been hard on these people because they can't move because they don't have the money to now. And who wants to buy a home that sits in a floodplain? And who wants to buy a home that sits in a floodplain? There we go. Finally got that word out. For some reason it didn't want to come out. So what can we do as humans that live on this planet and share the earth? That's the question. Well, I've been putting this to good thoughts. I'll put my thinking cap on, and I've sent out a few emails with some thoughts written down to kind of, you know, put some feelers out there. And I'd like to hear your thoughts as viewers of my video. What are your ideas? How can we, as a nation, as a community, as a world, how can we make a change? How can we fix what has started to break? Can we fix climate change? Can we fix our environment? Yes to the environment. Damn right we can fix that. Can we reverse it? Yeah, I think we can. Climate change. I'm not a scientist. That one I don't know about. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that do know about it and can possibly answer that one. So I would love to get some honest feedback, some good open communication down in the comment section. And I'd like to get some really good communication going with y'all about this. Ideas, charities that you would like to, you know, that you donate to, causes that you volunteer for, anything that you think would be a good way to pay back to the community to help fix or help people in need, because we all need it. You know, I've always been a volunteer. It's been harder since the arthritis has kicked in. I can't do as much as I used to. And the one thing about volunteering that you have to always remember is a volunteer is in it for the feeling, not the fame. So remember that as you're thinking about your comments. And that's one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel, is because if I can help one person, even if I don't know about it, then that's all that I need. That makes me feel good inside, you know. I miss being a volunteer, and if there's any way, shape or form that I can help people that have lost their homes because of flooding, even if I can't physically do labor anymore, I want to be able to do that. And I don't know where to begin except by asking viewers for help. So leave your comments down there in the bottom section and give me some great ideas, okay? Thank you.